Hello, everyone. Patriot Fire. Had to let my dog out a couple minutes late. Do want to clear up something real quick. On our Patriot 5, Patriot 6 messenger site, people are asking about Pamela Streb. Pamela has been following me for a long time. As a matter of fact, I commented what she said, and she come back to me and said, yes, thanks, Ralph. I'm very interested in working with you in the animal one. She was just curious as to, she had seen a video where someone stated that when we go to the redemption centers, that they're going to want a 2 to 5 minute presentation of what it's going to do to benefit, why we're going to do that. And I'm going to cover all of that tonight. She helped me with the show, but for all of you that think she's a bot, now, until I actually talk to her, I can't say anything, but why would she come back to me when I made the statement? But Pamela has been following me and Ron for a long, long time. She's been part of this group, but she watches the videos. She just doesn't come in here and talk. So we got Jamie and Papa G and Janet, One Voice and Bill Woods. And we have some birthday people today. Donna and David's birthday is today, so happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Donna. Happy birthday to you. Second verse, almost the same as the first. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, David. Happy birthday to you, and I hope you both have many, many more. I hope you're having a great day. Hello, Michael. Good to see you here. Hello, Michael again. Rocky is here. Jeffrey and Gordon. But I'm going to get on with the music and the pledge and then come back and talk to the kids briefly, because at about 4:30 this afternoon, I really didn't have nothing for the show other than Bruce last night and the Restored Republic. And I got a funny story to tell about the Restored Republic. And that's all I had. And I'd really, every time you turn around, someone's telling you, well, we can't talk anymore. We can't talk anymore. They're shutting us down. They told us not to talk about the beds. They've shut her down. Well, guys, let's turn the clock back a week. A week ago, I told you guys on this show when they said that Wolverine was shut down, he was under an NDA. I told you a week ago that girl that talks about the beds, and I don't call her by name, because for a long, long time she was one name. Now she's another name, and I don't know. I don't keep up with all of them. I'm the same. But anyway, I told you guys within a week, 2 at the most, she's going to tell everyone she's under an NDA. And I know there's a lot of you guys like her, and you have the right to like her. I was very upset with our president yesterday until I learned some things. And I'm going to share them with you tonight. But let's get on. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I glad you stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt as love is made, none From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea. From Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I'm ready to stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless this country, and I'm proud to be an American, 'cause at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless
God bless USA. I'm proud to be an American. And but with being a patriot, with being proud to be an American and wearing a hat like this, I'm telling you guys, it's not always peaches and cream. I'm serious. It's sometimes it gets just a little bit. When you're 71 years old, I'm going to say it gets a little bit scary, just a little bit. And when I say this, I say it out of experience. For some reason, now I want to show you here. You see the hat, and I think I did this the other night. See the rest of the hat? All it says on this hat is "Make America Great Again." That's all it says. It doesn't say 4547. It doesn't say DJT. It just says "Make America Great Again." But boy, I tell you, over the Labor Day weekend, I had some people that they didn't like it. But the whole thing is, for everyone that didn't like it, man, I had people walking away from their family group to come over and talk to me and tell me, "I love your hat. I love your hat. And I'm going to continue to wear it. And I don't care what people say." I had one lady one time, I've told you this story. She wanted her husband to whoop my butt because I was wearing. And I was at the Labor Day festivities the other day, and I was in the pop part where adults drink their pop. And I'm in there and I'm talking to one of my best friends. And we're talking, and his wife didn't like my hat, didn't like the color of my shirt. I said, "Well, why don't you get on the airplane with Rosie and, all of them other people and, Oprah and all them other people? Why don't you go with them?" I said, and here's my thing, guys, and I want you to listen to what I'm going to say here. If you can just give me your attention for a moment. But I challenge anybody who says that they can't take 4 more years. What about 8 more years? What about 12 more years? Who knows how many more he's going to go? He gets on them beds and he could go 100 more. But what I'm saying here is go to another country and start stirring the stuff up there that you do here. Say the things about their leaders. Go to Russia and say things about Putin the way you say about our president. Go to the Ukraine and say something about Zelensky. These people, they want to be dictators. I'm not saying they are. I'm saying they want to be. They want to run everything. But there's other countries that's even worse. You go and you say something bad about the country or the person who's running it, and what they're going to do to you is going to make Gitmo look like a spa. I can't wait to watch the videos on that GITMO. I can't wait. And I'm not that kind of person usually, but I look at it this way: what these people have put us through for so long. And I can only say one thing, and I'm very, very happy that I didn't have to watch my parents endure, because my parents were my hero. My dad was my best friend my whole life until he passed away in 1989. Then my mom became my best friend. And when I came out of the dinner after we buried her, I had to walk across the street to go home. And it seemed like it was 100 miles. I didn't have a purpose. Where was I going to go at nighttime to visit? When I come home from work, I never missed stopping at my mom and dad's house. But I'll tell you a cute story, about the way things have changed. If I wasn't on vacation and out of the state, I never went a day without seeing my mom and dad, seeing what I can do with them and help them. My son lives with me. And there's sometimes we go 2 or 3 weeks, we don't see each other and we don't talk. I'm down at Ron's a lot, because I give them their freedom, but he works upstairs. It is what it is. But that's why we come on here and we talk to the kids. And then young kids now, I don't want them to grow up like people are as parents now. I seen something, it was sad today. I was going into a store and I held the door for this young mother walking out of the store. And I'm telling you, as God is my witness, this girl couldn't have been 16 years old. If she was, she had just turned it. And she had a baby that looked to be about, I'd say, between 6 months and a year. And she was struggling to get out. And she said, "Thank you, sir. Most men are not that kind." And I said, "Is this your child or you babysit?" "Oh, this is mine." And I'm looking. And then I look at her outfit she's got on. She had a cute little top on. She had a skirt that just barely covered the crack of her butt. And I'm thinking, no wonder you got pregnant so young. You're flaunting it. And it was funny because I walk in and there's this big, tall, this guy had to be 6'8", and he looked at me and he said, "Thank you for helping her." And I said, "No problem." And he says, "But look at her. Is it any reason she got pregnant so young?" She flaunts it. She just puts it out there. He says, "It'd just be like me." If I walked into someone's house and there was a big steak around, am I going to let it sit there? Am I going to do something? And it's exactly the truth. We got to stop this. And it stops with a hat. And I'm going to talk about what he said yesterday. Man, I'm telling you, I got up and I rushed down here to Ron's to make sure I was on time. And once again, he's been elected, so he doesn't need our vote right now. He's an hour late. But there's only one time that I haven't been on time to watch his stuff. And that was the time he was on time. But I read a message from Carrie Underwood today. I was schooling around the thing, and Carrie and our president gets along very well together. And the message says, "Your president is doing something with the space program." And I'm going to touch on that because when you can ask Ron. If he's in chat, you ask him how I was. I was irate, but I held it in. But then the gematria clicked in. And as soon as he said something about the Golden Dome, Ron said something. But by that time, I was so disappointed and so upset. I was so disappointed and so upset that I wasn't listening. And I guess I should sit with my phone and have my gematria on whenever he speaks, and when he says something, look it up and see what it means. But I'm going to read something to you guys, and it was posted on our Telegram page today. So I think we have 50 or 51 followers. So if he was there, Bill Wood says hi, Ron. Hi, Bill Woods, even though you're not saying hi to me. Valerie, good to see you. Gary, nice to see you. Jeffrey. There's my wrench there, Janet. Janet, you're amazing. Max here. Valerie Haynes, Ron Anderson. One Voice, good to see you. One Voice, I was looking, I hadn't seen you here yet. But anyway, it is what it is. And I'm going to talk to the children. Guys, I'm going to talk real quick because I want to get into the show. And I need to say before I even do the children's portion, this show is not meant for children. You can watch it under the discretion of your parents, godparents, or great-grandparents, or whatever. Huh?
We're getting rain. We don't know how long.
And Ron also told me to make the announcement that we are getting rain. Usually when we get rain, our internet gets screwy. So if I lose you, I'll try to come back. If I don't come back, it's not because I don't want to. But tomorrow, speaking of children, and the music we played is for entertainment purposes only. We have no legal rights to it. We just use it for entertainment purposes. And it was so funny because at the parade the other day, at the parade in I call it my hometown, but I really don't like the town itself. But it's where I graduated high school, went to junior high and graduated high school. And they had a float coming down, and there was this amazing singer, black man. He's on the float, and they're playing the music, YMCA, and he is, I'm telling you, he is getting down, man. He is getting down. And he had the people on the side of the roads doing it, but not me. I wasn't clapping with him, man. I was doing the YMCA. Man, I was doing the hat dance. And my daughter was going crazy and laughing over there. She says, I knew you was going to do that. And I said, well, she yelled at me just out of fun because, see, whenever I go to my grandson's ball games, especially if they're the baseball games, because I probably forgot more baseball than a lot of people will ever know. Matter of fact, I signed up for a White Sox group on Facebook the other day, and they made me answer some questions. How long have you been a White Sox fan? And I said, longer than you've been born, by many, many years. And they started asking questions that you could answer to prove you're a White Sox fan. And I said, are you going to ask me a question that might have to think about? You know, and they come back and they said, you're accepted. They didn't even wait to put it to the rest of the people's vote. They just said, you know a lot. But, it's, the YMCA dance. I mean, it wasn't just me doing it. When people look back and see me, they started doing it. And it was like, boom. And they couldn't have placed it any better in the parade. So we're all doing the dance over there, and people are clapping. And I mean, they was excited. And I went to that parade for 60, 66, 67 years. I don't ever remember people getting so excited with something. And then right after that was that rat. That group that ends with rat, it was their float. And we're all over there doing the old Trumparoonie, It was a lot of fun, guys. But anyway, for the kids, Super Jimmy, we know you're going through a lot of pain, a lot of sorrow, but the thing you have to remember is mommy is out of pain. And even though your heart breaks, you have to think about her too. And she's with you every minute, every day of your life. She loved you like no other parent could love a little boy. And you got to remember that. When you're feeling down, just think of her. Think of happy times with her. Think about when Daddy said no to ice cream and Mommy snuck you that ice cream cone. I think you do that. I used to do it to my kids all the time. But see, I didn't have to sneak them because my wife was never there. She was out. She was out doing her. Why? Okay. That being said, Patriot 11, Grandma got a new horse, but she hasn't told me if you got to ride it yet. But I'm still looking at ranches, and man, I thought yesterday when Hat was speaking, buddy, I thought we're gonna find out something. I'm gonna talk about money, everyone, here in just a little bit. Patriot Karate Kid and Patriot Wyatt Earp. I watched Wyatt Earp the other night. I watched it. I got turning around. I was watching TV late. I was doing some stuff for Patriotism, chatting with a couple people, and I thought, hey, I'm going to turn around. I don't want to watch this show. There's one show on at night I don't like. So I'm turning around. I go down. Man, there's like 25 channels right in a row. There's 25 channels. There's Roy Rogers. There's Gene Autry. There's, Wyatt Earp, Gunsmoke, Bat Masterson. I mean, they're all there. And I stopped and watched Wyatt Earp. And I thought about you, little buddy. Patriot Princess, our queen. I was watching the parade the other day, and the girls softball, a couple of the girls softball teams was marching in the parade. And I got thinking, wow, man, if you live close enough, that could be you marching in the parade. And Grandma, I was going to say Grandma could be standing there having a beer with me, but she don't drink no more. And I'm proud of her, even though I've always wanted to have a beer. Cindy's here. Guys, remind me, I got to tell you a story about Cindy when I get done with the kids. Patriot Boogs, Boogaloo, Boogaroo, and Boogie. Also Patriot Hunter, our little Princess Queen brother, who is an amazing young man himself. But I think it's a grandma thing because, I keep seeing Haley. And I love it because she's such a little doll, And then she'll say, oh, yeah, and Hunter. No, I'm just teasing Hunter. I don't know. But anyway, Boogs, Boogaroo, Boogaloo, and Boogie. The 4 bees. I got a whole nest of bees over there. And then I got a picture from Mike the other day with a little Leona, and oh my goodness gracious. It seemed like just yesterday he was telling me, Ralph, we're looking for an old-fashioned name. And I said, how about Leona? That's my mom's day. And she's going to be born on the same day as my mom. And they did it. And I can't put into words what it means to me. Every time I go to the cemetery, I give my mom an update. And I know this may sound goofy and silly, but I'll also take the updated pictures that Mike give me, and I kind of hold it out thinking my mom can see them. Patriot little Leona, I just got some news that her grandma is moving to Florida. Never thought I'd ever see that because she is Bradley over and over, but everybody's left her. She's got her 2 daughters. One of them has already moved, and maybe the other one's getting ready to move too, but her mom passed away. Her grandparents has passed away. She never knew her father, but the guy that took her in as his daughter, was a cousin of mine. And I mean, nobody could treat a little girl better than he treated her, because we were raised that you take care of people the right way. But now it scares me about things. I mean, I've heard stories about what parents call their kids now. And I said, well, do you know that when they call their kid that, they're saying that they're that? And it's like, in some generation, they just went, Dad. You know what I mean? I know you don't. Hey, Beth Shaw's here. So anyway, Patriot Super Gymnast. I was looking. They have a cell phone that they activated, and they leave it there for the kids. So if David, Grandma Bo's son, a grandson, and my daughter want to go someplace, quick trip or something. If something happens, they can call mom. If they go to the park or go to kids' house, they can take it with them. And Ella sent me a message the other day, and she says, Papa, watch this handstand. And she sent it a little video, and it wouldn't open. So I'm going to have to see it tomorrow night, because tomorrow night I got to go over and celebrate Patriots 7's 10th birthday. 10th birthday, and he made it official. He has a girlfriend. Well, he didn't make it official. She did. And I made up a little song for him that I'm going to sing. But see, I think he's really worried that I'm going to tease him about having a little girlfriend. And the little girl is just as sweet can be. They make an amazing little couple. And, you know, fourth grade, that's when I started looking at girls and that. And, you know, my girlfriend that I had in fourth grade, 10 years old, she's been married now for 51 or 52 years to somebody else. Her mom hated her for a long time. Never did like the son-in-law because she wanted her to marry me, because she thought I was the son she never had, she told me. And I said, Dixie, you had a son. Whoops, don't tell Bill that. You know, but it is when you're good to people, you know, and, you know, he's got a birthday tomorrow, be 10 years old. Then we're going to have a big party for him on Saturday. Just cake and ice cream tomorrow night because he has football practice, of which he is playing middle linebacker. He's playing fullback, and now he's the kicker for the team. In their league, if you run the ball in or pass it in on the extra point, you get 1 point. If you kick it and they don't have anybody rush you, you just get to kick it. If you kick it through the uprights, you get 2 points. And in his first game as a kicker, he was 0 for 4. And I don't know why, because I seen the video, because I didn't go to the game, but I seen the video, and it shows the ball on 2 occasions going right through them goalposts. My daughter and one of them, Amber, she's going crazy. So we're going to work with him. I tell you what, I got him for his birthday, but he might come on. But it has to deal with something he can kick and practice with. And then, you know, we have Patriots, Small Hank. And, you know, when I talk about him, my son Brandon, who is his father, was a heavy-set kid, ended up growing to be about 6'1", but he's always had a weight problem until he went out for show choir one year, and he loved it. And the next year he went to play football. And we got a new football coach. He didn't get to play. This is a kid that was playing offense, defense, and special teams. He never left the field. And when this new coach comes in a 9-game season, he played about 18 plays. There were some games he never got in. And it would be one thing if you was a powerhouse team, but the team averaged losing by almost 30 points a game, because the new coach, even though he had almost 50 kids go out for the team, he would only play about 14 kids on offense and defense. Yeah, he played offense, they played defense. And sometimes we'd have a 20-point lead at halftime and lose the game 40-20 because we were so tired, nobody got to rest. But anyway, he decided in the summer going into his junior year, he decided to lose weight, and he did. And he went from about 250 pounds, 260 pounds, down to about 180. So he could do show choir. And I tell you, as a man who loves sports, you wouldn't think a dad would say this, but I enjoy the show choir much more than even when he was playing every play, because I believe in everybody gets a chance to play. You know, and I know, you know, why have a kid walk off like this or carry off because he's so tired, and you have other kids that never got to see the field. And especially in this league where Liam is playing now, because, you know, they don't pass the ball.
Diane said TNT. Tony said it's going to be long.
Okay. So we can we can put a kid in at safety or anywhere. He's not going to get in on a play, but at least he can say he played. But it is what it is. And whenever you're going to have coaches coaching, that the wife tells them, our son's playing and you're going to coach. Okay, dear. Or same thing, the woman might coach him because the guy says it. You never know. So what I was talking about, small Hank, and he looked like he was going to be a big boy. And then Labor Day at the parade, he's standing right next to Patriots 7. And I'm thinking, wow. And we started talking. And small Hank is about this much taller than Liam, Patriots 7. And when we started talking about their weight, they're within like 3 pounds. And I knew he had slimmed down. And he's a good-looking kid. So anyway, then Patriot little monkey kid cracks me up. I mean, you never know what's going to come out. But she's very upset with her school teacher, who happens to be her mother, because she don't like kindergarten. Even though her mom's a teacher, she likes it when she only goes a half a day and her grandpa picks her up and we can go have fun together. We just come over to Uncle Ron's for lunch once a week, and she likes that. So she's not sure she's going to like this all-day school. So I might ask her if she wants me to homeschool her. And then Patriot Kira, I mean, you got to keep your eye on that kid all the time. She knows how to open the front door now, and I mean, you never know where she's going to be. So that concludes the portion of tonight's kids talk. And I do want to get into things that, as I was talking about the kids, Ron just said he just got a message from, who was it? Diane, Patriot Diane, that with 2 N's. That's N's, N, the letter, not 2 N's. But I guess if you take one cheek in one hand and one cheek in the other, she's got 2 N's too. But anyway, she said that TNT Tony says it's going to be tomorrow. So, I figure if they keep saying it, sooner or later, it's going to happen. So, Abby, Abby went into the doctor today and got diagnosed, and
Had to get her blood tested.
she had to get blood tested and that. Now they're going to decide on when they're going to do what they got to do. So, keep your prayers for her, or pray for the beds, and boop, there it goes. So when I seen another wrench come on here tonight, it was Cindy. And Cindy called me today, and we talked for a few minutes. I was driving, and then I got home, got to Ron's, and I had groceries to carry in, so we couldn't talk real long. But as I was talking to her, we got talking about the hat and his speech yesterday. And then she said, well, I watched or listened to today Restored Republic. And I said, yeah. She said, yeah, it was Restored Republic from a year ago today. And I said, yeah. I said, yeah, Ron told me he made a mistake that, Jeffrey, what's going on with Jeffrey, Beth? Okay, Beth Shaw saying we need to pray for Jeffrey. So let's just pray for Jeffrey and Abby right now. Dear Lord, as we come to you doing this show tonight with all the people, all the family here with us, we're gathering around to pray for Jeffrey and for Abby, and for you to put an angel on their shoulder and let them know everything will be okay, for you to take care of them, look after their family as they're going through these times. But just, Lord, take care of both of these people. They're amazing people, and we come to you and pray to you through our Savior, your Son, Lord, Jesus Christ. Amen and amen. Thank you, Beth. But anyway, Cindy tells me that she listened to a year ago. And then she went and listened to today because Ron realized he made the mistake. So he sent today's out also.
No, I just sent out the one.
Or someone sent today's out. And she said, Ralph, it was almost the same thing. And she says, all in God's timing. And we know that. But and it's funny, Cindy just said all in God's timing. Because when I had my talk with God today, I said, we all know it's all in your timing. But you self-appointed this man. It's time that you get your timing in coordinates with his timing, and let's get her done. So did you just send something else out?
Yeah, I did send something.
I'm going to read this, guys. Ron just sent it to me, so let's read it. You guys can talk and listen. LOL. As a breaking, the Hat orders full military takeover of LA, Chicago, Baltimore, and Boston. Emergency broadcast system armed for national reveal. 1,600 plus criminal disappear from D.C. Special force storm deep state zones. Global elites in panic mode. September 3, 2025. This is not politics. This is war. The mission is domestic stabilization. The targets are identified. The chain of command is secure, and the commander-in-chief, the Hat, is executing the largest domestic military operation in U.S. history. Networks won't cover it because they are part of it. The cities are being cleansed, the rats are running, and the military is fully deployed. Read between the lines the recapture of the Republic. The Hat didn't just wake up and send troops into America's cities. This operation traces back to 2020 when the continuity of the government protocols were activated after the stolen, in 2020. I can't say it or we'll lose it. The Hat never left command. The peaceful transition to the sleepy was theater while the White Hat Allowance Space Force, NSA, Marine Intelligence prepared the counter-offensive. Cheyenne Mountain stayed still. Doomsday planes never stood down, and the nuclear codes were never surrendered. What looked like politics was camouflage. Now the gloves are off. The Chicago Blitz, as of September 3rd, yes. Joint Task Force 179 controls Chicago's south and west sides. These are Title 10 federal troops directly under presidential authority. No state governors, ROE in capital letters, allows lethal force against armed cartel factions in the last 48 hours. Signal jamming, towers activated to flush networks, detention hubs secured at Midway and FEMA sites, biometric roadblocks deployed with iris and gait GAIT scans, and sealed indictments unrolled against the contractors, NGO directors, and political aides tied to multi-billion-dollar laundering. 10 judges flagged for TRESON and RICO. Why Baltimore? Because it's trafficking hub, decades of missing children. Statistics weren't poverty, they were pipelines. The port infrastructure funneled UN-marked containers with no inspections, no CBP, and Space Force are tracking every vessel in real time. Raids have already hit NGO-run child centers inside tunnels, biometric experiments, hormone racks, and child. I'm not going to read all this. Boston, the digital throne Boston was set to be a WEF/CBDC, all in capital letters. stronghold since 2023. It's been a test city for biometric ID enforced through schools in transit behind the curtain. Who is running this? And I'm not going to read the rest of this because I like doing the shows. And we haven't went to the redemption centers. We haven't done things, and I don't feel like getting kicked off. Now, as I read that, this reading came from the site that I'm doing this video on now. So I don't believe I did anything wrong. I hope I didn't. If I did, I apologize. I just read what one of my people sent me. As I told you, I was very upset after I watched The Hat the other day. I was very upset. And I didn't do anything with the gematria. I just got upset and I let it be. Hi, Russ. So anyway, this came from NORDIQA on X. Space Force Houston, we have a currency reset. Q's Daily Fortunes cookie, double meanings exist. So if you thought Space Force was about Mars, lasers, and cool uniforms, surprised it's also about flipping the RV/QFS switch. Let's decode the galactic ATM, shall we? President, and I can't say the name, so I'm saying the hat, Space Force equals 303 equals 546 equals 91. 91 equals final phase equals 240. Q plus 240. CONF underscore Y, Lang underscore V underscore US underscore JURD underscore Y, Snow White Pounce Conference Actors 199999999 per condition underscore 89074B. Interpretations, this reads like Space Force launch log, but instead of rockets, it's the QFS engineering firing up. Snow White Pounce equals white hats storming the Cabal's money satellites. No nets equals no ballot parachutes left. Translation, the final Millennium Falcon just dropped hyperspace. 91 equals private equals 955. Q hash 955. Next week, boom, 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 Q. 701978, USMC activated US. Interpretation in Space Force comms, private equals a classified launch. The triple boom is 3 ignition stages and mapped to liquidity waves. Tier 1, in parentheses, sovereigns, and Tier 2, in parentheses, groups, are already burning fuel. Tier 3 has partial ignition, and the main rocket stage, Tier 4A plus B, is standing by the pad. Marines guarding the launch tower equals military protection over sequence. Iraq dinar equals 303. Q hashtag 303. Renee James. J. James. Renee who? ... question mark. Renee James equals 1461 630 105. What?
I didn't know they had the bases loaded.
Water storms. Water equals liquidity. Water stones. Water equals liquidity. Stones equals assets / reserves. That literally coded nod to the foundation stones of global liquidity. Finish line. Tell us the dinar price is part of the end game of the RV sequence. Sudden death. Flip the switch kills the old fiat system instantly. One move and it's over. Green light, go sequence, authorized final clearance for takeoff. Hammer time, the hammer drops, reset is enforced. So the Arachdinar is the ignition switch, and Renee J. James is the hidden code phrase for launch. Authorized. Imagine the general shouting, green light, hammer time, fire, that the RV button being pushed. 91 equals Phoenix equals 472. Q hashtag 472 test device and interpretation. The Phoenix is the space capital rising from the ashes of Fiat. Test device equals QFS launch. Stimulation end equals end of dollar gravity. Translation Fiat just burned up. Re-entry and the Phoenix capsule is floating safely in quantum orbit. 91 equals buckle up equals 500. Q hashtag 500. DEFCON 4/10/20. Fire and Fury. 9 states of class ready. Go live. 34 commands, live codes, commands, action, non-nuclear, 1 owl. Interpretation, buckle up, safe space cadets. This isn't DEFCON nuke, it's DEFCON money. 9 states equals 9 currencies aligned like planets in formation. 34 commands equals protocols locked and loaded. OWL, OWL equals surveillance drone hooting from orbit. Translation, mission control just said fire and fury, and that meant liquidity, not lasers. So yes, Houston, the RV rocket has cleared the tower, and the CABAL is still fumbling with their seatbelts. P.S. at Swisher 1776 dash Space Force comms received. Wow, that's a lot to read. I can't believe I read all that, but I thought that kind of solidified everything. And the whole thing is, just truthfully, I don't really need to listen to the hat when he speaks anymore, because I don't listen to the comms. I listen to what he says. And then I get upset, and then I let someone put it into the comms, and I can understand it. And everything they just said there makes a lot of sense, especially with Patriot Diane just letting Ron know that TNT Tony says tomorrow is our day. Life beyond 150 years. Special beds bring humanity what it has always dreamed of / a longer, healthier, and more active life. But what will the world look like when aging is no longer a barrier? Imagine generations living together, wisdom, knowledge, and experience shared for centuries. People creating, traveling, and learning at 120 years old with the energy of youth. Scientists where time no longer means an end, but endless opportunities. The paradox is beautiful. Longer life is not a burden, but a new era of abundance. Join to learn. This comes from Medbed Technology News on Telegram. The memories that return. Special beds don't just heal the body, they touch memory itself. Every cell carries a piece of our story. But what if the technology begins to restore all memories? Will people be ready to relive traumas they had forgotten? What if the capsules bring back details we never wanted? Is there's also a way with these unbelievable beds. There's also a way that they can suppress things that you don't want to know. Do you really believe these children, these beautiful, beautiful children, do you really believe that when they went on these beds, that they're going to allow these children to have to relive what they went through? Even if they survived what they saw happen to other children. And to me, for the people who did it, there's no place on this earth. There's no place for them. And when someone says, well, they get a trial and tribulation, no. If they was part of it, they get one thing and one thing only. And I'm not going to say what that is, but I know each and every one of you, because see, this is a subject that is very near and dear. And Ron got me a lot tonight, and I read a lot, and we're getting late. So I'm not sure I'm going to make Restored Republic, because I wanted to talk about something. You guys were talking about the person on our signal site, and there was a lot of discussion about who it was, and someone even mentioned that they took down what they said because they wasn't for sure that she was real. But the lady is Pamela Streb, Streb, and what she wrote, it was very important. She says this. So I saw something on Telegram yesterday. I said that when we go to the RV, they want us to do a 3 to 5 minute presentation about the purpose, scope, and impact of the project. Will you just be giving them what Ralph gave to us to tell them? And I responded to her and I said, Pamela, what I'm going to do is, everybody knows that my first project is rebuilding the town I live in. And what is the purpose of it? Well, it's going to add more jobs. It's going to make the town a better, safer place to live in. People were not going to have to travel 5 to 10 to 15, 20 miles one way just to get groceries. And we're going to fix this up. The people's homes will be good. We will add new homes. And if the people can't afford a home, we'll put them in it anyway. This is our way of fighting poverty. It's our way of bringing joy to a community that I have lived in for many years. But the jobs that it will create just in this little community is going to be great. Then I told her that I will be also talking to them in a very, now, how long did that take me? 45 seconds? Then my second project is working with the children. And a lot of working with the children is with the young lady in the Ukraine when she comes over here. And even before, we're going to start it in her country before. We want to set up a program where we can help every child have a family, a loving family, that when they get up on their birthday, they're going to have someone there to love them. They're going to get, like Liam's going to get tomorrow night, cake and ice cream. They're going to get cake and ice cream and presents. But every day when they get up and they get ready for school, they're going to have a parent there. And I've covered how I don't care who it is, if it's a mom and a dad and a dad, just a mom, just a dad, I don't care. Or just a mom and a mom. I don't care. All I'm saying is I want these kids to be happy. For the kids that right away we can't get homes, I want to have places built, or we'll buy places and turn them into that. That's very nice. That each kid that's in these places, they're going to be able to have a nice bedroom. They're going to be able to watch TV. They're going to have games and toys to play with. They're going to have a playground to go play in. And the people that I want working there, because it's going to create jobs. I don't want someone to come in and say, oh, I could love to work with kids. Can I have that job? Are you willing to live there? Because that's what I'm going to be looking for. People who maybe, it could be an elderly couple. More, because we're going to need, there's going to be a lot of kids. So we're going to need maybe 10 or 15, 20 people working. Do you want to live there? You'll get your own place, your own little apartment type deal, but you'll take care of these kids like they're your own. And that's what I want to do. Now, what is the financial gain of it? It's going to create some jobs. But in this case, you can't look at what the financial thing is. You got to look what it's going to do for the kids. I want to do the same thing with dogs and cats and animals. I want to get them in homes or build places, shelters, where they know they got a place. When in just this little town, I hear so many people, Daddy, I want a kitty. Daddy, I want a kitty. What happens to a kitty a year later? Oh, that's right. It's a cat. Boom. The parents don't want to take care of it. The kids don't want it because it's not a little bitty kitty anymore. So they throw it out. And then these cats are going from house to house, just trying to get a scrap, getting into people's garbage can. No, I want to stop that. I want to build centers for the special beds all over the United States and eventually the world that will create jobs like you wouldn't believe. But no, I don't want someone to have to drive 50 miles to get on a bed. Once they get on it and they're healed, I want to make sure they stay healed. And once every 6 months, everybody goes in for a checkup, just like you go to your doctor now. But the only difference of that and going to your doctor now is you're not going to have to pay a $25 fee just to go in. You're going to be able to go in and do what you need to go in and do. And you're going to get healthier and healthier. I read that thing what Ron gave me about, imagine generation and generation and generation all getting together, comparing stories. You know, and we're saying if you live to be 125 or 130, what if you live to be 200 or 225? So, trying to find what else I got here. Read that. Here's what Bruce had to say. Top sources within the bank on Monday, Labor Day. One of the top guys Bruce spoke with had a timeline and said he would say we have a shot at Thursday and the weekend, 2 days from now for Thursday. We absolutely cannot guarantee this. This is a moving target. Dates come and go. Bruce thinks it is happening, is coming together to make it happen. On Thursday, Bruce talked about 150 trillion amount of money that was coming from the Fed Reserve and now part of our treasury. But he found out in the last 2 days that the money will be divided and sent out and may start as early as this week for it to happen. What? Oh, a nice. Oh, lost my balance. A nice piece of change, a good start. Not a lot of money, but a good start. Now, here's what I don't understand. 150 trillion, we only have a certain amount of people in the United States. They could give every person, and I'm talking newborns, they could give every person $1 million and it would not affect them. Bruce thinks that this is a good idea, and there's several other ways that we're going to get paid. Senior citizens with a raise, DOGE money, and others, quantum financial system. But Bruce thinks that this first one is a good way to start because it can actually start the us going to the redemption center, because if people have money, if people already have money, we would not have to worry so much about them worrying about, well, why did Ralph and why did Ron all of a sudden get a new home? Well, why did this happen? Well, why did that happen? So it's there, guys. It's right there. It's there for the taking. All we have to do is reach out. I talked the other day about crossing the finish line, crossing the finish line, crossing the finish line. And I truthfully believe we're close. You know, with Bruce saying it could be Thursday to the weekend, and then TNT Tony coming out tonight and saying tomorrow's our day, with them shutting people up and telling them not to talk about things or putting them under NDAs. I truthfully believe we're close. I truthfully believe we're right there. It's there for the taking. We have to take it. A lot of things that I read about the Hat speech yesterday, the comms that come out, it's there. We just have to be patient. I've read over here tonight at least 5 or 6 times. It's in God's hands. It's in God's hands. And that's what we have to remember. So when you're feeling a little aggravated like I was yesterday, I kept it to myself and to Ron, because there's things that me and Ron say to one another. There's things that we do that we never repeat to anybody, but that's our way of blowing. I was going to say blowing our gas, but you guys might think I'm doing it in a different direction. No, it's our way of getting things out of our system, and we don't carry it. That way, when Pasquale or Ann or Papa G, Jeffrey, Bill Woods, One Voice, when someone comes to me and asks me a question, I can have a level head. And I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. And God bless you all. Remember to keep prayers for our people who's sick, and to pray for us. Because, guys, we've come this far. And as the song says, nothing's going to stop us now. Good night. God bless, and we love you all.